Please tell me I'm not the only one who's literally had like no motivation to do anything. Like, I don't know if it's this whole like tier 3 potential lockdown till Christmas thing, but it's been like stressing me out. Like, do any of you guys feel as though like you literally just want to stay in bed all day and like watch the hours pass? Like, I literally have like no energy to do anything. And with this channel, I want to be as real as I can, and not gonna lie, even finding the motivation to film this video today has been hard. Like, I don't know what it is, but I am struggling. But we've got this. We're gonna get through it, okay? We're gonna do it together. I've even made myself one of those like energy drinks that I'm always carping on about. Like, it literally looks like sick, like, oh. But we're gonna try and ignore that. I'm just gonna drink this and push past this energy slump and give you today all the best tips for online learning, so stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Gaia, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be giving you all the best tips for online learning, including how to stay motivated and productive and how to make the most out of your online education. If you do find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up, and if you're new here and would like more university advice and to join our cute YouTube family, feel free to click that subscribe button. I'd be more than happy to have you. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with this video. So the first bit of advice I want to give you guys today is to make sure that you create a timetable. I know this sounds like really simple, but time management is truly the key to success, especially in education. You'll most likely already have some format of timetable, whether you go to university, college, school, whatever, that they normally give you when you do enroll for classes. But if I were you, I'd make sure to have another copy of your timetable and make sure it's like printed out or like you've written it out, so you have like a physical copy in your room and you can see it at all times. You can do this in a range of different formats, whether that is something like a weekly planner, which is what I use. You guys will recognize this if you have seen my other videos. This is just a weekly planner that I use for my life in general, so it has other things on there that aren't university related, but you can use a weekly planner, a planner in the style of a diary, an academic wall planner, which you might prefer since it's slightly bigger. You can use post-it notes or flashcards to write out your lectures and stick them on your wall. If you're one of those people that prefers to have it in more of a digital format, then you don't have to use paper. There are thousands of templates across the internet that you can customize to make sure that your timetable looks really nice and aesthetic, yet also readable and effective. You can also use apps such as Microsoft Word or Excel, where you can literally create the timetable yourself by formatting the boxes. You can also use apps on your phone, such as the calendar app. There are so many apps in the App Store, which are personal timetable apps that you can use to make sure you know when your classes are scheduled, and they can even send alerts to your phone, so you get a notification reminding you when you need to attend a certain class if you've forgotten. Regardless of what method you choose, start out by blocking out all the lectures that you have during the week. After that, block out time for any reading or lecture preparation or homework that you might need to do. So if I'm going to use myself as an example, basically in my weekly planner, everything highlighted is a lecture and I've color coded them depending on the module. Since it is online learning though, a lot of my lectures aren't actually like live or recorded. They're just like PowerPoint slides that have been uploaded onto my university's working space that they expect us to get done in our own time. So basically, because of the fact that it like weirdly wasn't actually classed as a lecture, even though they were lecture notes, I found at the start of this academic year that I struggled to like know when to like write out these lecture notes ready for my seminars later on in the week when I'd need to discuss those lecture notes. So I told myself to actually block out time during like the week to do those notes and to color code them as though I would for like an actual live lecture. So I kind of trick myself into thinking that it is actually like a lecture. So that is basically the reason why quite a lot of them are lectures. But either way, I think this is really helpful because it tells me to like, you know, at a certain time I need to sit down and do it, and I need to treat it like it's an actual lecture, because if not, I'll end up just forgetting about it and like not really prioritizing it above the other tasks I need to do. So yeah, if you are struggling with like making sure that you are getting the lecture notes or like preparation notes done before your other lectures or seminars, maybe do what I do, where you treat them like they are lectures and actually like block out a specific time slot for them. So on like Monday, I give myself like at 9 till 10 I do my cog and bio lecture, and like I said, even though it's not like an actual live lecture, I still treat it like it is. I will get those notes done within the hour and I'll be able to use the rest of my time more effectively. My next bit of advice I want to give you guys is that while you're making your schedules, not only should you factor in things like lectures and time for reading and preparation tasks, but also make sure that you schedule some rest breaks. This is literally essential, especially since we are literally stuck inside, and from the sounds of it, we are probably going to be going into lockdown for at least a month until Christmas, so we are literally going to be stuck in these like 4 walls, sadly, literally every day, unless to go out for like an odd walk or so. And if you don't give yourself that vital chill time, you will go insane. Trust me, as someone who has literally had like a million breakdowns over the last few weeks, because I've literally been filling my weeks with like university work, YouTube editing, trying to have a social life. I've not really had time for like myself and to sit down. Like there's even been days where I haven't even really fed myself properly, and that's really bad. So take it from me, give yourself some breaks, because mental health is as important as physical health. And this whole pandemic situation is really affecting so many people, especially students around the UK, and it is really sad to see the amount of people whose mental health are being affected drastically because of the whole thing. Even though it is great to push all of your effort into all of the university and college work, you do need time to yourself and you need a break, because you will burn out. And that rest break could be something like getting lunch, sitting down and watching a film for an hour or so, calling a loved one, just anything that isn't related to university or anything like work related. You know, like spice it up. Also, when you are taking a break, make sure that you aren't sitting in the same spot as the one that you were working in. Leave the room or take a break from screens. Honestly, as I found, like staring at a screen for like a good solid 6 hours or like longer can really just mess with your eyesight. It has really dried my eyes up, especially recently. If you are going to take a break, try not to look at a screen, whether that is a laptop or a phone screen. Try and go for like a walk around the house, or maybe even just go for a walk outside if you can. If you desperately do want to spend your break using a screen though, I do recommend altering the screen settings so you aren't staring at blue light, because that can be damaging for your vision. We've got to make sure you guys are fit and healthy, okay? The next bit of advice I want to give you guys, if you want to get the most out of online learning, make sure that you are sitting at a desk or some sort of table instead of staying in bed, because this will help you be more productive and motivated, and will less likely make you want to go back to bed. There may be days though where you feel you literally are so low though and you can barely get out of bed, and the best thing for you is just to like open your laptop and just watch like whatever lecture or like Teams meeting you have on your laptop and just like stay in bed. And that is okay. Even though it's not recommended, like I said, you should really make sure that you are sitting at a desk, but there are some days where we can't do that. We need to look after each other. We are in a pandemic and everyone's mental health is really suffering, like I said earlier. And even though it is better to sit at a desk, if you feel like you can barely get out of bed in the morning, that is okay. Please don't beat yourself up over that. Also, if you have several lectures during the day, I found a helpful tip in making sure that you stay like productive and motivated is to make sure you aren't just sat in the same spot all day, like at your desk. Maybe if you feel like you really struggle with staying in your room all day, maybe do your first few lectures in your room and then move downstairs and sit downstairs in the kitchen and like work down there. Changing up your workspace while learning will really help you stay focused, because it almost like mimics lecture buildings and like moving between them. And it's a change of scenery, so you're doing something different every few hours and you aren't just feeling really bored and prone to procrastinating. So the next little tip I want to give you guys is that if you're struggling with staying productive, then there's no better thing than creating a study playlist. Creating a study playlist which will not distract you will also help block out any flatmates or any noise from your neighbours, so you can ensure that you're in the zone. However, in this playlist I do recommend making sure that you pick songs that you don't know or are like prone to sing along to. Choose songs that don't have lyrics or are in a different language or are generally just songs that you've never heard of before. Okay, so ignore how dirty my screen is, but I'm currently on Spotify, as you can see. These two playlists are ones that I normally use when I want to either be productive or I want to get a lot of uni work done. So the first one, which is called I Don't Want You Anymore, is basically kind of like my bad bitch playlist. Like it's filled, like I think it's like 16 hours of like songs, you know, really quite bad bitch, like empowered, independent women kind of vibe songs. It's a very good playlist if I want to like power through a lot of work, or even just play it in the background when I'm doing pre-drinks. Normally a lot of people, when they listen to study playlists, they listen to playlists that have like lo-fi beats on them, or like I said earlier, you know, songs that don't have like lyrics. I like to listen to this one which is called Peaceful Guitar, and like, you know, it's basically just got guitar songs on it, but like I really like it. It's really like calming and just nice in the background. Like it's enough noise without, you know, the silence kind of being deafening, but it's still like not too distracting. If you do want a playlist to listen to which has got a lot of good lo-fi beats on, I do recommend this one, which is made by Spotify, or Optimal Focus, which is one made by YouTuber Jack Edwards. I'm sure a lot of you guys might have heard of him. The next bit of advice I want to give you guys about online learning is one that you've probably heard countless amount of times, but it is one that I think everyone is guilty of. I know for sure I defo am, and that is to make sure that you turn off your phone. Literally everyone I know struggles with this, because using your phone during online lectures can be so tempting, especially during ones that are a bit boring or like you're just not really interested in and you just much rather scroll through Instagram and look at cute dog photos. It can also be really tempting because no one's seeing you. Like, I know for myself personally, for most of my lectures and seminars, the majority of us don't have our cameras on, myself included. So if I were to go on my phone for like 45 minutes, they wouldn't know and the lecturer wouldn't know. But our phones are our biggest distraction. I advise to try and turn your phone off, or to either put it on the other side of the room or even in another room if you're sitting through an online lecture. For myself, I literally like to just throw my phone across the room onto my bed. I know that doesn't sound like a really responsible thing, like I'm surprised my phone isn't cracked, but by hiding it under my pillow and duvet, I don't know like then where it is and I can't then search for it, because I found even if you put your phone on the other side of the room, if you can still see it, you will still be drawn to wanting to go like, you know, use it. Whereas if I hide it under my duvet, I can't see it, so the temptation isn't as like high. I know that's a bit of a weird tip, you don't have to do that, but that's just something I do to try and stop myself from using my phone, because I am literally phone addicted, okay? Not only should you not use your phone, but make sure you close down any tabs that aren't related to university work while you are doing an online lecture, because let's face it, online shopping during a lecture is not productive. Okay, so another app I like to use which helps me like stay productive and stops me from like procrastinating and like just going on random websites and like social media is this one called Self-Control. You can basically download it. It's free for MacBooks. I don't think you can download it for like PCs though. So basically you click on it. This is what you get. Also ignore the fact that like my screen is just so screwed up, okay? Like I've had this other MacBook for like 4 years now. I've mentioned it in other videos, and like the display is just starting to die, and yeah, but the reason why I haven't gotten rid of it is because it still works as a computer, but just sometimes the screen acts up every now and again, like this horrible line in the middle, but yeah, just ignore that. It's basically a free plugin that you can use to block any websites that you are prone to go on, and you can then adjust here how long you want to like block it for, and then you obviously press start, and then you can also edit the lists. So as you can see here, these are all the websites I normally am prone to using, and especially when I'm doing work, these are the kind of ones that I'll be prone to like clicking on when I want to procrastinate. As soon as you press start, all of those websites are blocked for like that amount of time. Honestly, if you're one of those people that struggle with procrastination, I really like highly recommend this. It has helped me so much. Even if you close Self-Control as a app on your MacBook, it will still block the websites regardless of what you do. So like I said, it's just a really good tool to use if you are one of those people that like gives up on work after a bit or is just prone to going on social media a lot. The next tip I want to give you guys is to make sure that you leave enough time in the morning so you can make that effort to get up, get showered and get dressed. Honestly, as someone who can sometimes be like the most laziest but also ambitious person, I know it can be so tempting to just want to roll out of bed 5 minutes before your lecture, but let's face it, that ain't going to help you in the long term. Trust me, you are not in that right state of mind to actually start properly learning and digesting knowledge, even if you have had like a solid 10 hours sleep. So even though I know it doesn't feel exactly like university or school or college as it was a year ago, but there's no reason why you shouldn't try and take this opportunity with it being online learning and make it feel as though it is still normal. You can do this as though you're trying to discipline yourself, as though you were still going to a face-to-face lecture. Like I said, set an alarm so you can get out of bed with enough time to get dressed and like get yourself sort of mentally ready for a day of learning. I always like to get up like an hour before my lecture, or maybe like an hour and a half, just so I have enough time to shower, get into comfortable clothing and make myself some breakfast before lectures. I always like to make sure I've done all these tasks in the morning quite quickly, just so I have enough time before my lectures just to like chill and browse the news and browse social media and just slowly kind of like wake up to a new day. This will help separate working from relaxing. Even though I do suggest making sure you eat before a lecture so you aren't having to leave halfway through to get a snack. Maybe if you do feel like you are gonna be prone to snacking during the lecture, or you want something to just like chew on while you're listening, I recommend investing in a snack drawer. You know, it's such a crazy stressful time right now. Why not like treat yourself? I guess that's the perks of it being online, with like the cameras being off and everything. everything. Normally in a lecture you'd get judged if you're rustling like a packet of crisps or some sweets or whatever, but since you're sat at home, no one can see you eating, no one can see you like rustling that packet of crisps, so why not, okay? Like I said, it's such a crazy time right now. So another little bit of advice I want to give you guys is that I know online learning sucks for many. I know a lot of people have been struggling with online learning, but you also need to see the positives, such as rustling those crisps, such as like being able to like not have to really like care what you're wearing, you know, not having to like trek back and forth to lectures. So I think I'm going to leave it there really today for all of my best tips on how to get the most out of online learning, because it's currently 5 o'clock and I've got to go spend the next hour or so getting ready for my Halloween party tonight, because I'm currently filming this on the 31st of October, and even though we are in tier 3 and even though there is potentially going to be a lockdown just around the corner, my house are going to be throwing a little house party just for the 6 of us. You know, don't worry, don't think about calling the cops or anything, we're not doing anything illegal. We're going to start drinking around 7, and the reason why I want to start getting ready now is because I've got like quite a lot of makeup almost to do for my character or my theme this year. I'm not going to tell you guys exactly who I'm dressing up as this year, I guess you'll see on my Instagram, but I'll give you a hint. So using these 3 items, who do you think I'm going as for Halloween this year? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to know if you guys can guess correctly. But yeah, like I said, those are all my best tips today on online learning and how to stay productive and motivated and how to get the most out of your online education. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful for you. Hopefully if you've been struggling with online learning over the last few weeks, I know I definitely have, and I know a lot of other students have. I just want you to know that it is completely okay to feel that way, and it's completely normal. This is a whole new thing that we've all got to deal with and get through, and we will get through it. And I really hope this video gave you some ideas to use. If it did, please give this video a massive thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you next week for more university content. Bye!